Well, HazMat load's complete, so now we can talk about it. Lots of rain down here in Lubbock, Texas this morning and this afternoon and this evening. And so far, no leak. Yeah, that's the good news. And yep, we're willing to sit instead of drive for cheap on this episode of
the Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. That is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Okay, here I am in Lubbock, Texas. That's where I was going with that HazMat load. So now I can talk about it. You know, somebody did point out, which I kind of agree with. You know, you can't really talk about on the videos and stuff, or talk about or make it public where you're going with a HazMat load. However, if it takes a couple of days like this one did, and you're parked at a truck stop, you've got all these nice big placards all around the truck on each side, showing exactly what you have, essentially, inside. So that if a terrorist really did want to attack and, you know, steal something like that, well, they just have to pull into lots of truck stops and look and see what's on the side of the trailers. But, you know, all right, it's just all semantics and everything. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so today is Monday the 24th. I delivered this morning. There was a window of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I got over there, of course, right at 8 o'clock, checked in, and, of course, there were 5 other trucks waiting ahead of me. And this is one of those, this kind of hacks me off. It's one of those places where there's a lot of regional HazMat stuff obviously going to this place on containers. So I talked to some of the other guys who were there already, and they had picked up down at the Port Authority in Houston. And they just run straight through the night, and they show up in the morning, they just park there on the street, and they're taken before those of us who actually check in at the office, because they're a, you know, recurring thing. So that's one problem with those first come first serve places, is even though I checked in as soon as I could at 8 o'clock when the office opened, and I should have been first, I was 5th. So the problem with that being is, as we're trying to look at other loads possibly to get out of the area, none of which were paying all that well anyway, we couldn't, you know, commit to anything because I didn't know how long it was going to take to get empty. Then finally, after about 2.5 hours, they put me in a door, got me unloaded within like a half hour, and then I pick up my paperwork. So it was well over 3 hours and 15 minutes before I was all done there. And by that time, there really wasn't much. I just rolled back over to the Loves where I parked last night, or yesterday morning actually. Started hunting down things, got on the phone, emailed people, made offers. Sosa was working on it. Mark was working on it. Unfortunately, this wasn't a great place to go. It paid really well to get here, which is good. Because we might be taking it in the shorts a little bit to get out. What do you think? Yeah, so by late afternoon, it was apparent really nothing was going to be happening for today. So, kind of gave up at that point. We're going to try again tomorrow. We'll see what we can find. Hopefully we can come up with something good. You know, like I say, if it's not going to pay great, at least if we can get paid to run the truck and get a little piece of lettuce for me and the family, just to move me to a better location. But I'm not willing to move what a lot of the loads are paying, which would have been just enough to pay the fuel for the truck. Right now, with the fuel prices hanging around $5.50 a gallon, it costs, you know, close to $1.25 a mile just to run the truck. So you got to take that into account. Of course, I'm still paying insurance and everything else every month, and maintenance. You got to account in for that. So really, you're at $2 a mile before I'm even making any money. So that's where we got to be, is at least above that. We're going to try again tomorrow. We'll see what we can find. At least early in the morning, I'll be available immediately. So we'll start searching. And maybe Tuesday might be a little bit better for Monday than Monday, because, like me, everyone came down to where they're at today and delivered on Monday. So everyone's looking for a load for Monday. So, but we're willing to sit. This is, you know, the thing that Mark is a big believer in at Whitestone's Logistics, and it's something that I've even haven't had to you know, get used to, because it's just not, if it's not going to pay you to drive, then don't drive. You know, the old adage of, if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. Well, anymore that doesn't really apply, because so many times this year, how many times did I say, not only am I not making any money on this load, I'm losing, it's costing me money to drive this load. That happened with the few months before I left Turquoise, and that kept happening, and that's where I kept saying, this has got to change. I'm not going to keep driving not only for free, but pay to do it. There's no point in doing that. So this is where, you know, you got to pick your battles, baby, and you got to say, okay, is it worth me taking this load? No, just to move to another place. Only if I know at the next place I can get paid decently to get out. There's a lot of stuff going to Phoenix. Problem is, stuff out of Phoenix going to anywhere decent doesn't pay anything. They're paying like $1 a mile. So again, you can move over there and then lose money again. So it's kind of a balance and you know, whole thing, and you got to search a lot. You're always looking ahead. Your second or third load is really what you got to keep doing. Got to keep in mind. Don't just grab that one that's going to pay you, because maybe there was one that paid actually fairly decently out of here. Picking up tomorrow morning, going to Sydney, North Dakota. It was a HazMat load, but they didn't want to pay enough for it because what are you going to get up there? You're west of Fargo. All right, and for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you notice I've kept having that static issue. Look at this like little bit of hair that just doesn't want to play along. Anyway, with that external microphone, I've got it on now, and right now I did yesterday's video and I'm doing today's without my clutch trucker lights on, hoping maybe that was the one causing the interference. I won't know until I start editing this video, so I can't tell you right now, but hopefully I'll find out soon. Okay, now onto the water leak issue. Ever since I redid the wedge roof thing on the truck a few weeks back, I just had that one test of driving across Nebraska where I had about 2.5 hours of rain, some of it pretty heavy, and no water came in. And then of course it's been dry as a bone everywhere I've been since then, until I got parked yesterday morning here in Lubbock. And then early this morning, a round of thunderstorms came through for about 2.5 hours, and no water came in at all. Then late this afternoon, we had, again, about 2.5 hours of thunderstorms rolling through. So heavy rain, then light rain, heavy rain, then light rain. I'm parked leaning a little bit backwards right now, so that might be helping me out. This is why I'm not ready to call it completely and say that the last fix we did is definitely the fix. But so far, no water's been coming in at all, and I'll show you where it has been coming in. All right, for those of you newer to the channel, of course, I completely remodeled my whole sleeper unit on the truck. And this is where my sleeper bed area used to be, my bunk. And now it's a little couch area I have. That little door folds back so I can access the freezer. It has a cushion that'll sit in front of it to make a complete couch area. Got a big closet, fridge, freezer, microwave, my Ninja Foodies back there. There's my sink. I kind of use that as a holder when I'm not using the sink. Here's my countertop area. My toilet below, my RV style toilet. That's why I had to replace that pump. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so anyway, then I have my stairs, my drawers I put in for things I can access while I'm going down the road. My water stays down there below that thing with that vent. Anyway, let's head up the stairs and I can show you where this thing has been leaking. Let me turn on the light up here. Blink. And of course, I hardwired lights and outlets. There's my little nightstand on my landing area. Here's my whole bed area upstairs. And you can see where I put that vinyl up on the wall there. That was the back wall corner. And I came across to this side. And it was always leaking out of this section of vinyl right here, dropping down and hitting my nightstand area and soaking all this. Before I did some initial fixes, it was dropping over the bed, which was annoying. But so this is where I cut the wall out. So far, so you can see, dry as a bone. We're taking this as a good sign. We've had lots of rain today. There's Rusty Toys. So hopefully this did it. So, like I say right now, still cautiously optimistic. I really think that fix did it. That marine sealant that a few of you recommended, I know Connie was one of them, that 5200, I went with the 4200, which was a little more pliable and cured faster. But it's been up there now at least over 2 weeks and has definitely cured at this point. That gasket that John Hallgren suggested that I put in there and then put the marine sealant on each side over that, you know, I think if it leaks now, you know, this is where I said before I punt. But I really think this has solved the entire problem. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not willing to call it yet, but we're close. All right, so there you are. I finally got to tell you about the HazMat load I was on, and now we're trying to find something for tomorrow. So, yeah, was willing to sit another day and wait until we can find something better, because, you know, we want to try to make some money, and that's the whole point. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Just a quick update now that I can finally talk about that HazMat load. And yeah, had to talk about the fact that lots of rain this morning, rain this afternoon, and no leaks so far. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic, baby. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please, thank you, Rusty. I love you too. Oh yes. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get to your comments usually within a couple of days, sometimes longer because I'm a working truck driver. There's Clutch Trucker at Instagram, Clutch Trucker at Twitter, where I always put all the Rusty stuff. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Look, I understand you guys start out with your whoobies and you think they're great, and they are. But then, you know, that's not enough. The next thing you know, you're out on the street, you're trying to score like an electric blanket or a quilt. You know, this is where it gets serious there, Ken. Down here, you can't cheat. Come on, down here first. Oh, he tried to get it right out of my hand. All right, there it goes. It's right there. Grab it. Oh, yes. Loving them bacon strips. Those thick-cut ones take a little longer to eat, Rusty, but I don't think you're complaining. What do you think? Yeah. Happy dog. Well, there's that rain again. Here comes that rain again. Banging on my head like that Eurythmics song. I don't remember the rest of the words. Hey. Oh, baby, talk to me like lovers do. All right. Rusty all over that bacon strip, baby. He's loving it. He's loving it. Oh, I see a little crumb down there. Make sure you grab that. You get it? You get the crumb? I still see the crumb. I'm zooming in on it. Okay, I think you got it. Happy dog look.